What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So yes, your boy is headed back home, and yes, I'm recording this video while I'm in the car. I wanted to get this video out to y'all as soon as I left the homie Dub's crib. Shout out to Dub for allowing me to come to his spot while my power is out right now still due to the hurricane, and we ended up doing our live stream reactions of SmackDown tonight. So shout out to him opening up the crib. Really appreciate him doing that. And you know, it was dope to be able to get the SmackDown live stream for y'all this week. But we got to talk about what happened on the show. Enjoyable show for me, in my opinion. Definitely love what they got setting up for SummerSlam. Can't wait to see how things play out. But we're going to talk about the Bloodline stuff, because that to me was the most important stuff, the most interesting thing that was going on tonight's show. So they give Solo Sikoa once again a little vignette, or I guess you could say like a little video package of him and the rest of the Bloodline. They're all standing behind him, and he's talking about what the Bloodline once was. He said at one point the Bloodline had all the gold. They had the Raw and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They also had the WWE and the Universal Championship. So he's talking about how good the Bloodline was at one point. And then he starts to talk about how everything fell apart when Roman Reigns wasn't man enough to beat Cody and to, you know, keep the Bloodline with all the gold. So now Solo has to do it. And essentially he was letting it be known that everyone's going to acknowledge him, and if Roman comes back, he's going to also have to acknowledge him as the tribal chief or whatnot. So it's just one of those things where, you know, I had said this, and I wanted this to happen, that Solo is starting to get big-headed. He's really starting to buy into the hype that he is the tribal chief, and he's going to want everyone to acknowledge him, and he's going to start sending more shots to Roman Reigns, and that's what we're seeing. He's sending more shots to Roman, which is ultimately going to get Roman to come out potentially for SummerSlam. So there was a tag team championship match between DIY and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They had their rematch. DIY just won the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, so, you know, obviously the rematch was on the way, and they ended up retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which we expected. It was a pretty solid match. They're going to be setting up something with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and they're split up relatively soon. The way the match ended, Grayson Waller accidentally kneed Austin Theory in the face, which cost him the match. So they're definitely setting that Austin Theory face turn relatively soon. But after the match, DIY, they're celebrating. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are celebrating. Then out comes Jacob Fatu. He comes down to the ring unannounced and starts packing up the SmackDown champs. He starts packing up Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano with ease. Now granted, obviously they had a match, so they were obviously tired, but he packed up the SmackDown Tag Team Champions like they were nothing. One guy, and he looked brutal, he looked vicious, he looked intense, and it was beautiful to see. I love what they're doing with Jacob Fatu. They are literally making this guy look like a monster, and it was fantastic. I loved it. So after he packed up the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, that's when Solo music hits, and he comes down there with the rest of the Bloodline. So they're going to have their little segment in the ring. We come from commercial break. Solo is essentially doing what Roman Reigns does. He announces what city they're in, and then he says, "Acknowledge me." Crowd's booing him. They don't want nothing to do with him. And then that's when he goes into his promo talking about Jimmy didn't want to acknowledge him, so he had to get taken care of, which I don't remember that. I remember Jimmy essentially wanting to still be by his side, be a part of the Bloodline. You know, he hugged him, and Solo told him, "I love you, bro," and then proceeded to pack him up. and then Tama Tonga, you know, came out of there, came out of nowhere and packed them up. So I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't remember Jimmy not acknowledging him. So that's one. Then he said, you know what happened to Paul Heyman for not acknowledging him. And then he ultimately is going to get Cody Rhodes to acknowledge him. Cody comes out there. Cody unbuttons one button. And I'm like, Cody, you're going out here by yourself against this new dangerous bloodline. Unbuttoning that one top button ain't gonna save you from the ass whooping he's about to receive. You know? And of course, Randy Orton had talked to him in the back saying, you know, I got your back. And they've been teasing stuff with the Randy Orton and Cody stuff, which I definitely will probably make a separate video talking about that, because I do like what they're doing with that. It's really, really good. So, but Randy essentially earlier in the night said, I got your back if you need it, which he knew he was going to fucking need it. So he goes out there. He tells them, look, at the end of the day, you know how this goes. I already talked to Adam Pearce. It ain't official, but it might as well be official. It's going to be me versus you at SummerSlam. We're going to go ahead and get this. We're going to get this done and settled. If it was up to me, I would do this right here, right now. But it's not up to me. So at that point, it wasn't much to talk about. They haven't made it official, but it's most likely going to happen. They start to surround him. And then, you know, Cody starts to fight 1v4. But you know how it was going to end. You knew he was going to get packed up, as he did. Then Randy comes out there to even up the odds. It working for a little bit. But then Randy ends up getting packed up by Jacob Fatu. Love what they're doing with him. And this is what I thought was very interesting. And I liked that they did this. They tied up Cody in the ropes. Tied him up in the ropes. And they made him watch as the Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu, they made Cody watch as all three of these guys packed the hell out of Randy Orton. I mean, Randy Orton was being held up and he was getting super kicked to oblivion by Jacob Fatu. He was also being hit with the steel steps multiple times, and there was nothing that Cody could do. And Solo's like, I want you to watch this. They're just packing up Jacob Fatu, just beating, not Jacob Fatu, or Randy Orton. They're just beating them up. And then they clear the announce table. They set them up for the power bomb through the announce table, and they power bomb Randy Orton through the announce table the same way they did to Paul Heyman. And obviously Kevin Owens was there because the story was Kevin Owens was with his mother, making sure she was good. So Randy was like, just stay with your family. We got the bloodline. So now Randy Orton has been taken out of the field. He's been packed up. And then they gave Cody a Samoan spike solo for his troubles as he was sitting there hung up on the ropes and Randy was dispatched. So essentially what we're getting right now is the bloodline is taking away all of Cody's help. I do think Kevin Owens will be there next week. He's going to be ready for a fight. You know, Kevin Owens is always down for a fight, but I do think the numbers will overwhelm Kevin Owens. They'll maybe have Cody Rhodes in a compromising situation where he's once again restrained, and they're going to pack up Kevin Owens. And what they're doing is eliminating anyone that can help Cody. And I like they're going that route. So I do expect Kevin Owens to unfortunately get packed up when he comes back. And now Cody essentially is going to be by himself. They're eliminating all of Cody's potential help, which I like that story. Because now Cody has to go into SummerSlam essentially 1v4. But really it's like a 1v5 because Jacob Fatu counts for 2 people. The dude, just ridiculous. I love how they're booking him. But I love the story that they're telling there. And it's just all setting up for when Roman Reigns come back. Even Jimmy, I do think Jimmy Uso is going to be involved in this as well. When they all come back, or at least with Jimmy coming back and Roman coming back, and eventually we'll get Jay to come back over to help out. It's all gonna work out in the end. It's all gonna make sense. I do feel like that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, they're going to be going for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and I can see maybe Jimmy getting his revenge there against the Tonga Loans. He'll probably get his revenge by coming back and costing them the tag team titles during SmackDown. I mean, during SummerSlam, because I just don't see them winning the tag titles and then Solo not winning. So I do see maybe Jimmy getting involved in that match and cost them the tag titles. And then I can see Roman Reigns, maybe Jimmy trying to get involved in the main event and he's not successful, and then Roman Reigns getting in the main event and trying to, you know, ultimately stopping Solo Sikoa from becoming the new WWE Undisputed Champion. So that could possibly happen. We will see. But I just love the overall story that they're telling right now, that this new bloodline are going to do whatever it takes to bring all the gold back to them. So it's going to be very interesting. Y'all let me know down below, did you guys enjoyed what happened on SmackDown? And are you guys looking forward to how things are going to play out going into SummerSlam? But I appreciate all the love and support y'all have shown on the channel. I think this is the very first time I've ever did like some type of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown review in the car. So you know, I just, you know, wanted to get this video out to y'all as soon as possible. I'm actually almost at my grandmother's as we speak. But I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Once again, when the power comes back on, y'all already know we're gonna go up on the videos. But I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one.